This man gets me every time with that smoke. Gets me every time with that smoke. Oh, man. Me. Hi there. Welcome to Outdoors, Brews, and Barbecue. This is your host, Carlos, here today with our guests. Over to my right, I got...
Hyro at Zero Conclusion. You catch me on Instagram at Zero Conclusion. Wow.
You can catch me at Cuban Survivalist. And over to my left, I got...
Austin. Catch me at Austin Browning _
Austin Brownie?
_
Oh, okay. You like brownies?
Browning.
Oh, Browning. Got it. Browning.
Look at that. Like, I was already messing up. Didn't even have a beer yet. Like,
haven't had a beer yet.
It's going to be a day.
I have no beers yet.
I haven't bearded yet.
So today's episode, we'll be covering, of course, a little bit about the outdoors, a little bit about brews, whether it's some sort of moonshine, some sort of whiskey, or a beer. Of course, as you guys can see, there's already some beers over here to my left in front of the camera. And there's another special 2 beers that I have still in the cooler because they are in crowlers, so they are to be pulled out of the cooler as they're about to be drank.
The special guest.
The special guest of this episode. But we are going to start off with beer number 1, and beer number 1 is the lightest one of today's collection. And that will be Mangolandia by a local brewery here in Miami called Veza.
Veza.
Mangolandia is I say it's a beer I can have pretty much in any occasion, whether it's a barbecue or I'm just chilling at the house.
That's just a very good chill beer, period.
The description I can give you based off of what I pulled off Veza's website here was kind of funny when I started reading it because it just reminded me when I used to live in the Redlands. Did you ever wake up to the sound of ripe mangoes falling on your roof?
Or your neighbor trying to steal them from your house?
Right. This bright and whatever that word is. I don't even think they spelled it right. Sensationable.
Sensationable. Oh.
Yes. Wheat ale is Miami's summer in a pint. All right, so we're going to go ahead and pull out some beers here from the cooler.
Woohoo.
As I've been maintaining them a little chilled.
It's my favorite.
All right. You have an opener, Austin?
I do not. Not on me.
You do not. Here's yours to the left. You have your 2 cups right there for beers 1 and 2.
Yep.
You know I got mine.
I know you got opener. I don't got to ask you that twice. The only trick here is trying to pull it.
For that description there, when you're talking about the sound of mangoes falling on your roof, I don't know about y'all, but whenever mangoes fall, they make a thud.
Yeah.
That would wake me up in terror if I just heard out on the roof.
I mean, it was either the sound of the mango hitting the roof or the sound of la chancleta flying down the hallway.
Yeah, oh my God.
All right. So, yeah.
It's
either A or
flashbacks.
B. What? All right. Let's go down memory lane here. Yeah. I'm trying to find my own beer, which is somewhat buried down here. If not, I'm going to take the one that's on the front of the camera.
This is the first one we're also in a bottle, not in a can.
This one,
yeah.
Yes, this is the first one we
I
brought in.
couldn't find it in a can so far, so it's like...
Oh, I've seen these in a can.
I couldn't find
guys,
it.
I'm sorry for taking this from the camera from y'all, but I'm about to take this one because I can't find the other one buried somewhere in the cooler. All right, so let's get a serving of this beer into a cup so I can actually put it in front of the camera for y'all so we can describe the color and the aroma that we get from this beer as we pop it open. So as we can see here, and I'm going to put it over here in front of the camera for y'all. Again, this is not the South Coast IPA can, so let me move this out of the frame for a moment. This is officially the Mangolandia Blonde Ale by Veza here in Wynwood, Miami, Florida. As Austin went ahead and put the bottle here for me right next to it. So as you can see, it does have that goldish ale color. So let's go ahead and take a smell of this too, so I can have a description of what it smells like.
Oh, I love the smell of it.
You love the smell of it?
Oh, before you were talking, I was already smelling. I'm like,
it does have a fruity,
very fruity,
very fruity scent to it.
Very like floral fruity, like you know.
Now the
like
real question is, am I going to get that same fruity flavor as I put it in my mouth?
Look, you know. Feel you're gonna get a little fruity in your mouth. Yeah?
Hey, we're talking about the beer here. We ain't going no other direction.
Yeah, I'm only talking about beer.
It's definitely refreshing.
Very refreshing.
Very refreshing. I feel like this is definitely a beer I can, like I said earlier, match with anything.
Yeah.
Is in my occasion, this is not the first time I'm tasting Mangolandia Blonde Ale by Veza. I have had this with brisket. I've had this with burgers. I've had this with hot dogs. I've had this with pizza. Yeah, irrelevant to the barbecue.
Just at home, he gets a pizza.
You're at the house chilling, and you need a refreshing, cool beer to go with it. You know, because you just came back from cutting the grass. I've had this in that scenario also.
Yeah.
Right. It's kind of like having a blue moon. I feel like you can go anywhere.
Yeah.
Have a blue moon, and a blue moon matches whatever scenario you're pairing it up with. Right.
It's light. Yeah. It's citrusy.
It does have a citrusy flavor to it. I do feel the floral aftertaste after you take it in, as well as when I'm taking it in.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But it
and
has
again, we're
something
talking
else.
about beers here, guys. Let's not let the brains go a different direction.
I didn't have it twisted, but now
It's
that you say
it's
that,
always about beers. All right. And it also has this, like, I can't put my, like, finger on it. Like, this other taste to it. Like, when you're drinking it, kind of, like, best taste is kind of like a numbing, flatten kind of taste. Like, it's just, like, flattens out, but not in, like, a bad way. Like, you know how you can, like, bottom out from something? Like, it's but this is not bottoming out. It's like, it's just, like, it's
like it
refreshing.
dissipates quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I'm also,
the
like-
aftertaste doesn't linger for very long.
I'm also trying to compare it to other fruit beers that I've had, and I'm trying to determine what other fruit am I tasting in this other than the obvious title that it has. All right, because the obvious title that's in front of the bottle is that it's mango, but
Yeah.
I feel like there's
It's
another
mango.
fruit in there that you can have in the aftertaste after you had already taken it in for a second, and you're just tasting that aftertaste you have in your mouth.
You know what I'm kind of thinking about? It's this fruit.
Pineapple?
Let's get it up north. No, not pineapple.
No, I'm saying in terms of the aftertaste.
Not so much pineapple for me. It's this tiny fruit.
But you're close. It's definitely a tropical fruit that I'm feeling.
Yeah.
I was thinking more up north. Like, it's a little fruit that used to drop, and like you take a bite. It's like kind of like an apple, but very small. And like it had this like not a strong bitter, but a bit of a bitter, like sweet taste. But it, oh, man, if I can
Pear?
remember what the fruit was, not a pear. No.
We'll get back to debating what fruit that might be.
Yeah.
But again, this is Mangolandia Blonde Ale from Veza, located here locally in Miami, Florida, and in the Wynwood district. All of the beers tonight are from them. Specifically, I tried to narrow it down just to one brewery, so we can have focus on breweries for the moment, and later on comparing different beers from different breweries as we move along with future episodes. Right? As we transition here, let's get to the outdoor topic of the conversation. What national parks do you guys know here in Florida?
Everglades National Park.
That is definitely one of the bigger ones out of
One of the bigger ones.
one of the bigger ones here in Florida. Because you do have Big Cypress Natural Preserve, which is part of that park as well.
Yeah.
Key Biscayne National Park is actually a national park as well.
Yeah.
So, and that's located to the east coast of South Florida, right near our power plant, good old Turkey Point. The one national park I feel people know the least about, and that's the one I brought into tonight's episode here, is Dry Tortugas National Park.
Yep.
For those of you that don't know where Dry Tortugas is located, you are going to have to zoom in on your Maps app on your phone into Key West. And when I say zoom in to the point that you can almost see the streets in Key West.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to navigate 70 miles west into the ocean, and it is a small island.
You could just look it up as well.
You can also just Google it up and find Dry Tortugas. You're right.
He's trying to get you to paddle out from Key West to
I'm
Tortuga.
trying to, take you to go the explorational route.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
A little bit of history behind Dry Tortugas. Dry Tortugas was originally called just Tortugas. It was discovered by Ponce de Leon in 1513. So we're talking about, 500 years ago? Give or take? Like I said, it's located 70 miles west of Key West, Florida. It was named Tortugas originally due to its large populations of sea turtles that were surrounding the island at that time. Tortugas means turtles in Spanish. And Ponce de Leon himself caught over 100 sea turtles during his time there in the island. A few decades later, they added the name Dry Tortugas to the name because the island itself has no drinkable water. So for the sailors out there, they added, in quotation, the word dry, Tortugas, to the name, indicating that mariners that were out there seeking land for water were aware that the island itself was dry and had no drinkable water. All right. Later on in history, as time progressed, 1825, the first lighthouse was built in Dry Tortugas. And the reason for the lighthouse being built there was because Dry Tortugas is also surrounded by a huge population of coral reefs. So between the 1500s and the 1800s, when that lighthouse was put up, that area of coral reefs became like a shipwreck yard. All right, there were a bunch of sunken ships. So they went and added a lighthouse into the island in 1825. Later on, half a century later, they started building what became now known as Fort Jefferson. Fort Jefferson took almost 30 years to put up, 29 if you want to be exact. Started in 1846 and went through 1875 as far as the built up. Fort Jefferson at that time was basically our main defense for the Gulf and our good old pirates that would navigate through the Caribbean, and preventing them from seeking or being able to make it to land.
Catch me if you can.
Interesting points about Fort Jefferson. It is a hexagon in the middle of the ocean on that island, Dry Tortugas. It had over 420 heavy guns, cannons at that time, cannons. It had the hexagon built up with walls as high as 477 feet tall, and at certain points of the construction, walls up to 322 feet tall. All right, it was just a fort, part of the military, until later on into the early 1900s, or past the quarter of the first century of the 1900s, where Franklin Roosevelt, officially under the Antique Act of 1935, made it into a monument and expanded in 1983 as part of Dry Tortugas officially becoming a national park. All right, in October of 92, the Act of Congress, and as well as 1 month later, that was a month later after Hurricane Andrew struck through the South Florida Caribbean. All right. So a little bit of history about Dry Tortuga.
Okay.
The park itself is comprised of 47,000 acres, or should I say 19,000 hectares. Pretty sure that's how they're pronounced.
Hector.
So Dry Tortugas is one of our... It is visited. It's not that it isn't visited. If you're trying to get there are boats that leave from Key West. Last time I looked into it, because I'm thinking about visiting it myself with the wife, you do need to be there at sunrise, practically.
Yep.
You got to be there at 7:30 in the morning, get on that boat, and they roll you on out. It's about 45 to an hour ride between Key West and Dry Tortugas.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going via boat, if you're going via plane, because there are seaplanes that take you out to Dry Tortuga as well, that'll make your trip slightly shorter as far as flying out to Dry Tortugas. Right.
That sounds fun. Can you take like...
I mean, I was just amazed.
Can you take like a picnic basket with some beer?
Oh, you can actually camp out there.
You know?
No, you can camp out there.
You can spend the day there.
Okay.
There's the they call it the expedition trips, where they drop you off like on a Friday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Right, as people are beginning to leave the park, they drop you off on that Friday. It allows you to get your campsite, your campground. Do take your own water, because there is, again, no water out there in that island.
Yeah.
Hence the dry turtle part.
Dry Tortugas. Yeah, there is no water, man.
Dry turtle.
So some other fun facts I found out about it was that the walls, in the shape that they were built, at the midpoint of joining, they would have two massive cannons pointing out.
The canyons. I was like, wait, what?
No,
canyons?
canyons.
That'd be crazy.
I keep on saying canyons, thinking about Grand Canyon, but no, that's on a whole different state.
You had to go
different national park.
Different national park. But
that's next week. Just kidding.
But at the midpoint where the walls join in the hexagon form of the construction, or is it a pentagon? So I believe it's a hexagon. In the hexagon form of the construction.
Was 5 sides or is it like
It's 4 and 4. Let me read
I thought it was
here.
5 sides.
I'm scanning through here, guys, real quick. Sorry for the silence. Silence.
I think you said pentagon.
I thought it was 5 sides.
It has 3-tiered, 6-sided, 420
Yep.
Okay.
heavy gun fort with 2 sides measuring 325 and 4 sides measuring 477 feet
Yep.
at the walls. All right.
Okay.
It was mostly all done by masonries that were taken out to the fort during that time. And it held also as a safety point for our naval teams or ships out there in the Gulf during any sort of tropical storm. So they would go seek safety at the fort when there was some sort of tropical storm coming by. All right.
Get wrecked.
Be a
Let
little
me
safe.
drink a little bit more of this beer because my mouth is dry from talking.
Yeah.
It's good.
I don't know
Looks
about
like,
you guys.
Yeah.
It looks like we had someone drop in on the chat. You know, Maria Porata.
Oh, look at that. My
What was
mother's
that?
on. Of course, my mother would be
A
in the
good
chat.
opinion. I personally like this beer. As tropical and Miami as they can make it. That is very true. When it
That
comes to the
is definitely sounds like the beer.
beer. that very
is-
Miami.
Very accurate description.
I can concur that she's tasted this beer before because she stole it from my hands as I was drinking this beer,
We're like, hey!
and she just took it right out of my fingers and was like, "Oh, let me try." And I was like, "Well, now you can keep that bottle.
All right, that's
Because
yours.
Now I'm gonna go grab
That's
the other
yours.
bottle."
That's yours.
Yeah.
That's all yours.
You cannabis.
So, next beer in lineup here, guys, as we transition through Mangolandia Blonde Ale. The next beer up is going to be South Coast IPA, also by the same brewery.
So sweet.
So let's get here South Coast IPA into this camera frame. I'm slowly rotating this can. What direction am I going here? There we go.
Pull it back a little bit towards you.
Let's pull back.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So again, Veza South Coast IPA, Indian Pale Ale. I feel like I don't got real estate for these cups here. But we'll negotiate. It is not the beer that's on the screen, guys. I will be placing that beer in front of the screen here in a moment.
Oof.
All right, let's distribute these cans. Oof. I'm going to crash with this microphone.
Thank you.
Yep. And I'll take this cool can and leave that other one in front of the camera there. Now, South Coast IPA. Description as it is on their website. Love hop aroma, but not that lingering brightness. This full body Miami IPA is for you. This beer has a brilliantly fresh nose of an IPA, okay, and is balanced by a full malt backbone. And of course, they put a little Hispanic tone to the end of it. Yo quiero una ya,
Yo quiero una ya.
which goes for I want one now. Right? Are we going to taste this from the can or are we going to taste this through a cup? I'm going to pour one into a cup so I can put it in front of the
So
camera. Here.
technically, I've been tasting on both. I say we first should try from the cup, then from the can. You know, we should get a good whiff from both. See how.
Yeah. That's fair.
I feel like the aroma is very light from the can.
Very light.
I can barely smell the beer.
Definitely smells like an IPA though. I have a good nose, so like for me, I'm like IPA.
It does have a much darker golden tone than the Mangolandia that we just tasted from the same brewery. So let's put this here right next to the can so we know exactly who we're comparing. And let me take this lighter yellow tone out of the camera as I'm about to chug it.
Chug, chug. That's the palate cleanser.
That is the palate cleanser.
Not to say, you know, Mangolandia is delicious, but you know, it's a light beer.
Very good.
It is a
good.
very light beer. I mean,
Yeah.
I drank almost 2/3 of the entire bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's did I.
But as we look
Yeah,
here at focusing on South Coast IPA, the color tone right off the bat is slightly darker than the Mangolandia we just drank before, which was the lighter end of the four we're tasting here tonight. Let me take. I already took a sniff at it from the can, and I really didn't smell barely anything. I don't know about you guys.
I do. I just smell. It just smells hoppy to me.
Yeah.
Boys, your nose stuffed?
No.
Whose nose am I hearing through the microphone here?
Nah, it's not mine.
Definitely better aroma as I smell it from the cup than the aroma I was getting from the can.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because there's actually an aroma from the can. I feel like it was like fortified from coming out. All right.
It's like, we know it's an IPA. Some of you don't like this,
So
so let's go
IPA
hide it in the can.
I don't like IPAs, but I'm going for it.
IPA, for you joining out there again, IPA stands for Indian Pale Ale. It is a different category of beers. And this one is South Coast IPA by Veza. Either one of you already tasted it?
Not yet.
I have not
I
yet.
was waiting
Yeah,
for
I'm
you.
waiting for you.
Down the hatch.
Not bad for an IPA. Smooth.
Very smooth. Surprisingly smooth. Like, it still has like the little bite from an IPA, but it's very like
The hoppiness that you feel in it's very, very minor.
yeah, it's not at the back of your tongue. You feel it. It's more towards the front.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's
I could
like,
do that. I could do that.
I would say, trying to get
I could
someone
do
on
that.
an IPA.
You rather
this might
feel it
be
in
a
front of
good
your tongue
starter
than on
for
the back?
someone.
Yeah. I could do that.
I can definitely have this beer with a good smoked salmon.
I was thinking like maybe
Yeah.
taking it to like the movie theater, some popcorn.
Yeah, I feel like I
just
can
movie
have
night.
this IPA with popcorn as well.
Yeah, I was thinking like it just gave me like a nice beer to have like some popcorn with and just like relax, watch a good movie.
And for an IPA, this IPA, by the way, I haven't told you guys the alcohol percentage for this IPA. This IPA, South Coast IPA by Veza, has a 7.5% APV.
Lovely.
Which is definitely within my ball game area of beers because I love any beer that's over 5. I think 5 is my cap. As we tasted Mangolandia, that was borderline my cap at 4.8. But this South Coast IPA,
See, Mangolandia is surprising just because the taste of it.
right?
Just
It's
like
refreshing.
yeah.
It's a refreshing
It's
beer.
very
Like,
refreshing.
it's extremely like you know what, and it makes you just want another. Like dame otro.
Yeah.
This one I
This
definitely
is
put like
pool day, beach day kind of beer. Yeah.
very much lounging at the pool too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like let's relax.
And again, I guess it really all depends who's drinking the beer, right? Because not everybody likes IPAs. IPAs is a very topic.
Yeah, it's hit or miss with a lot of people. It's the
I got cousins
it's the butt of all jokes.
who like beers. I got cousins who don't really like beers. And I know that if I was to bring this to the family gathering, this would probably just be my beer. All right. And occasionally one or two there that may join in, but everybody else is like, no, it tastes like wire. No,
Like what?
like burn wire.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, it tastes like PVC.
PVC.
Oh,
And they just
it
have
tastes like a foam
a
cup.
different flavor palette.
It is definitely a different flavor palette.
It's an
Some people,
acquired
they-
taste.
It's an acquired taste. So when you get into the IPA family, they all have acquired taste. And what I've come to learn is that as you jump into different level of IPAs, whether it's a single IPA, a double, a triple, a quadruple, they all, depending on what level of IPA you fall into, they either are really, really hoppy or they have a slight aftertaste of the hoppiness, but have a very smooth intake.
Yeah.
All right. And I think that lands further into the triple, quadruple ball game as far as really, really smooth. But again, at this point, you can give me any IPA and I'll try it. and I'll be honest with you. I'll be like, is it more towards the, this is a nay for me or is it a yay? I think that in this scenario of South Coast IPA by Veza, I'll stick to the yay.
This one gets a yay from me. Also, I feel like it is a good, like we're talking about IPAs, just to try to get someone started on an IPA.
This would
I
be
feel
a
like
good
this
start.
one actually be a good one for most. At least like you can like sort of like how some people give them other beers that a little hoppier, a lot stronger, and they're like, ugh. But the base, they're like, that's it. They're not gonna have an IPA
as someone
again.
who doesn't like IPAs, this is a good start. I can drink this.
You can drink those?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
It's
see,
good to
it's
know.
perfect. Like,
Yeah.
So,
I had
at least he's being open and honest with us.
Yeah.
He
That's what we
already
need.
admitted that he does not like IPAs. So, for someone who's not fluent into the IPA beer drinking ball game, it's an IPA that he can do, right? He at least has tried it, and he now knows that it's an IPA he can approach with confidence and say it's not bad. It's a smooth IPA to start off with. But you guys got to be careful, because if you're a light drinker, it can sneak up on you, because it does have 7.5%.
Put you on your ass.
You know? So after you have one or two of them, you may want to recalibrate as you stand up. Because you're
Let's recalibrate.
You may want to recalibrate before you stand up.
True. I mean, I had that experience myself with something else that was at 17%. When I had to go throw away the bottle, I stood up and I was like, "Ooh, time to calibrate before my next step." All right. But for a 7.5% APV IPA by Veza, it is not bad. It is
Not at all.
refreshing.
Yeah.
I do feel like I can have this with either a seafood dish or a traditional land animal dish, how I call them.
Burger.
A burger. Yeah.
Wings.
Chicken wings.
Ribs.
Ribs. A burger with some smoked Gouda cheese.
Ooh.
Oof. That right now would be
That
great.
sounds lovely. Oh, Gouda. Some blue cheese.
Some juicy bacon on it. Mm.
No, blue cheeseburger.
Thick cut bacon.
Thick cut bacon.
I don't want that thin, flimsy.
No, I don't want that thing that I can just touch
Want
my
that
finger and
Canadian
it
bacon?
cracks.
I don't
and
want to
falls
flick
off.
it and it cracks.
Right, exactly. That's what you call over-fried bacon.
No.
Hey, but I kind of like.
I mean,
overfried
don't get me
bacon,
wrong.
but,
I like
a little-
over-fried bacon for
Nice
breakfast.
crispy.
I want to have to chew my bacon.
Nah, not at that point either, bro.
Not chewy bacon, but like to bite it. I want it to have bite, if that makes sense.
Okay, all right.
You
So
want like
I can see that.
Okay.
All right, yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. All right. It's not
you
bad
want to
beer.
be like.
I want it as a topping, not a garnish.
Not a garnish.
Like I've been saying, it's made me stop for a moment. Like garnish. Wait, what?
Garnish.
Like, who eats a garnish?
Oh, this is not my can. My bad. This is the one that I have on the camera. My can's over here. I was gonna pour more into the cup from a can that's not even open.
Well, let me move
You're
my
gonna
knife.
pour and be like, why isn't it coming out? What's going on here?
Guys, I did pregame before this podcast, as far as solids, not as far as fluids, because I knew what I have coming up on this podcast in the next few beers here is going to definitely be on the higher level of beers, and their names are very unique.
I love
Yep.
the names. I can't.
We're having fun today.
I have not tasted
So-
these, and I cannot wait.
You haven't
just
tasted
even
neither
say
one.
the names.
You haven't tasted neither one of
I
these.
have
two?
not tasted either one of them.
I'm impressed. I thought you would have
That-
at
I-
least
I-
had the first one that's next on the
No.
list,
No,
and the fact that
Have
you
not.
haven't tasted either or is
That's
new,
why I was really
new
excited
news to me. New news to me. I know Austin hasn't tasted
None.
any of these four at all. So
yeah, that's always excited when you sound like, wait,
But it's good to have mixed perspective, though. It's good to have perspective on someone who's tried these and who's able to explain the taste of the beer. It's good to have someone who has a little bit of insight into them, and it's good to have perspective from someone who has no insight into them.
oh, for sure, because it gives you two different points of view.
Exactly.
Right.
or three.
I really love that. You're right. 3 points of view, because there is 3 of us here. You're right. But
4 to 5 if you think of the sidelines. So
yeah, 4 to 5 if you think about the sidelines.
Yeah.
Let's see here. The next beer we have coming up comes from a phrase that I was explained by my wife. Now, my wife is Cuban. This brewery, based on the names of their beers, seem to be owned by Cubans because
very Miami.
Why would you say that, Carlos?
because of the names that they have in here. And if they're not Cubans, they're definitely from the Caribbean in the Latin culture. 100%.
Mijami all the way.
And the reason why I say that is because they have another beer which I did not bring here tonight. So it is not in this room, but they have another beer called chancleta.
Uy, Dios mío.
All right. So when my grandmother used to tell me chancleta, I was already running for the hills. The hills that do not exist
At
in
this
Miami.
moment, I feel like we should just have
Alright.
a show on beers with names that you've been beat with.
Oh, for sure.
It's
For
like,
sure.
wait a minute, chancleta, Gooby.
No, chancleta in translation is a sandal or beach sandal.
my.
Most of us know about the boomerang chancleta.
we all know that.
And Latin grandmas always tend to have that boomerang.
Carlos, if there's anything you don't have to explain here, it's the chocolate.
You're right. But hear me out.
The
I feel
viewer sometimes doesn't know.
the viewers
so we gotta
don't know.
let them
So I don't know what viewers I may have on this live stream. So I got to give an explanation of what a chancleta is.
Fair.
Some get the switch, some get the chancleta.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair.
Whenever I saw my grandmother holding a chancleta in her hand,
You run.
It was
You
run.
run. That's it.
Right? And if you think you saved yourself by coming across around the corner, man, you weren't safe at all, because it was on the flick of the wrist. They had a
the flick of the
boomerang technique. That thing will curve right around the corner and still smack you in the back of the head.
Yo,
All right.
She made her
Tell me
own.
you didn't get smacked by
yo,
one
I
of those.
didn't.
She made
I was
her
just like,
own
how
aerodynamics.
the hell?
Yeah.
Did
Oh,
this
she
chancleta
definitely knew
just
her
come around that
aerodynamics.
corner?
That's without a doubt.
Because I know, like, my parents could not catch me, but god dang, that chancleta could.
That chancleta always got you. That chancleta always got you.
Never missed. And right in the back of my head.
And if it was one of those that had a hard rubber bottom,
Oh, you me.
damn, that thing will go pop right in the back of your head.
That thing hit.
Damn it, she got me. No. But next beer we have coming up here, and I am going to transition to the next beer before we jump into the barbecue debate.
Well, hold on.
All right.
Before we jump, real quick, because it looks like we got some opinions about the chancletas.
All right.
So we have Puerto Rican Thunder. If you saw some chancleta in your grandma's hand, it was too late.
Yeah.
You're right.
That is goddamn sure.
Puerto
Like
Rican
that-
Thunder, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. Yeah, if
At
the
that point-
chancleta was already in her hand and I was within 15 yards, I was already SOL.
May you rest in peace.
Yep. the rest in peace scenario was well within range.
Yeah.
All right.
Very much so. And then like we got another one from Bibami.
Miami vibes, lol.
Yo,
Yes, definitely
yeah.
Miami vibes.
Yeah.
As every single beer
Right,
we're
the
tasting
names
here.
of the beer right now, straight up Miami vibes.
Yeah.
And then chancleta's definitely. Well, actually, no,
Definitely
that
Miami
just Spanish vibes. Just,
No.
you know, all of us are connected, even island Spanish.
My
Like, let's
my
get it.
question, right, is I know we don't have that beer obviously here with us. Does it hit? Does it smack you like the
Ooh,
chancleta
see,
does?
that's what we're gonna find out
Like,
one day. That's what.
That's
We will
my
find
question.
we will
is-
find that out on a different episode. I did not bring that beer into this ballgame because it fell more into the same tier as this IPA. All right. So seeing as we already had an IPA in this podcast episode, I
That's
did
fair.
not bring chancleta.
That's fair.
I'm telling you, we should make one that is a podcast of beers that you've been beat with. Like that sound like.
I mean, been beat with. And
Well,
what's
I'm
up?
sure like beers you've been beat with. I'm like, dang, like who's beating you with beers?
Yeah,
Like, you're gonna beer bottle's gonna toss at you.
been beat with in what sense? Yeah, the sense that I can't get off the chair.
No, beers named after things you've been beat with.
Oh, beers named after things you've been beat with.
Yeah.
There's very few that I've seen so far out of the 622 that I'm working my way up on that I've already tasted. So there's very few other than that one that I read on the menu that day where I was like, chancleta. And
Chancleta catches your eye. You see chancleta.
Chancleta.
Like, what?
I saw that and I was like, oh,
Yo,
shit.
if I would have saw that, I would have just started blocking already. I'd be like, why you flinching?
Oh, we got another comment up there, again, from my good old mother here, Maria.
Just reminding you,
Yeah,
right?
she's like reminding, chancletas always hit the target.
Yeah, it
She
is.
knows.
Oh, she knows.
She knows.
She swung a couple boomerangs herself. Yeah.
She's like, that's right, I did.
Yeah. What really sucked is when it didn't hit you in the back of the head and it hit you in the ear.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
It was like
yeah.
a permanent smack noise right there. It was like, boom. And you just hear that echo sound. And I was like,
Epa.
all right, guys.
right, so-
we've been talking a lot about chancletas here. Let me
chancleta.
take in some more
Look,
fluid so I
chancleta's
can
not even
transition.
here. Chancleta's not even here, and it got the
And it
biggest
got
pop.
Chancleta's not even in this podcast. And it
That
got
lets
attention.
you know right there.
All right.
All right. So what's next? What do we got on the
So the
menu?
next one up. Now we're jumping into a Belgian style beer family.
Mm.
All right.
Okay.
The name of this beer is very unique, and the first time that I went to this brewery with a coworker of mine and the wife and his wife, the first name on that menu that caught my attention was this one, because this is
Something you say constantly.
this is something I do say constantly. Yeah, and Hyro can go. He can say that
every
because,
time. Every time.
he's heard me say it once or twice, or multiple times.
Oh, man, once or twice. Once or twice, and probably in an hour.
Once or twice in an hour. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So the name of this beer is called Arroz con Mango. Rice with mango is the translation. But the meaning behind the name of Arroz con Mango, or rice with mango, is when you have a shit show, a clusterfuck.
Mm-hmm.
You are stuck like Chuck, and the scenario is just gone south, and you have no idea what the hell is going to go on. How bad may it be, or are you going to find a solution? All right.
See, as a Dominican, hearing that the first time, I'm like, ¿qué? But I was like, you know what? I like that Cubanism right there. I like that. I like that.
And I'm glad you pointed that out.
I started using it. I was like,
I'm glad you're pointing that out, because
when I first heard you, like years back, I looked at you like, ¿qué? Arroz con qué?
Right, because to people that don't know what that means, when you say that, all they picture in their head is like a bowl with rice and like sliced mango on top. Right?
like
so
what?
You're like, what kind of a freaking dish is that? You're going straight up rice grains with rice, and rice grains with mango, and I'm like, yeah, hold up, it's not a dish. All right.
It's not a real dish, all right? That's why. That's why.
It's a hypothetical dish.
It's a hypothetical dish, and I just have a minor shit show that's going on 3 tables over.
That's what basically.
And at that point, I started making acronyms. Arroz con mango.
It's a hypothetical dish representing the metaphorical shit show that you're in.
Exactly. There you go. Now, the description of this beer by Veza here in Wynwood, Miami, is what happens when you brew rice flakes, mango, ginger, and habanero. Our Cuban friends would call that un arroz con mango, because just off the description, it sounds like a
rice
shit
flakes.
show
I'm over here thinking
combination.
sake already.
mango.
All right.
I heard rice flakes. I'm like sake, like in my head. ¿Sabe?
Try this aromatic strong ale. So it's a strong ale with a warming aftertaste. All right. So this, guys, I need to move this microphone forward, because this is a much bigger can. This can,
Much bigger can.
I had to go to the brewery to find this can.
It needs its own space.
It needs its own space on the center
parking
table.
spot.
Move this bad boy over.
Has its own table.
This one is not that one. This one's the last one.
Actually, the last two are definitely have their own tables.
The last 2 beers here, and let me put this can here next to my head.
I think everyone
So
has
you
a
can have an
line.
understanding. And I'm flipping this camera over here now, so you can look at it nice and close. And I'm putting this can on my shoulder. All right.
It's a big boy.
This can is the size of my
Hold on.
practically.
Just so I can hold it right there. Dale.
All right, so now we got. All right, so now my hand's out of frame. I'm looking straight on at you. All right, the can is not a small can. It is a 32 ounce.
That is at his head.
All right.
Like, look at that is his head.
So, seeing as they do not sell this in a 6-pack, I
They
went
don't?
ahead. They do not.
No,
I
they
went-
don't.
let me- oh, wow,
I would love to see you try to chug
one.
one.
Pull this back. There we go. I think I'm gonna need Austin to hold the
Let's do a
camera
size
off the
comparison.
table.
There we go. Size comparison.
So there's a
Yeah.
size comparison. You want to make it an even more size comparison? Here's a bottle. Yeah. All right. So now that we have an idea of how big this growler can here is,
And let them know the smaller can was a pint.
the smaller can over
That's
there.
normal beer
the
pint, so a normal beer
the
glass.
green can is a pint. I'm gonna also chug this IPA that I still have here, so you guys don't get confused by
Chug,
the
chug, chug, chug.
chug.
Me chugging man here. Clean glass.
I wasn't planning on pouring it in this cup.
Ah, okay. I thought you were.
I'm just trying to get that cup out of my way. And I ain't throwing no beer away, so
No, you better not.
you know that's an insult.
You know I finished it gladly.
All right, so you guys got cups, right? Because once we open this bad boy,
Oh yeah.
this
Oh,
is
I'm ready. I'm ready.
This is either getting drank tonight or it's going to the trash. One of the two. right.
Oh, they ain't going no trash.
Nah, can you pass me a cup?
Oh,
You already used up those two. That's right.
Yeah. Wait,
I'll serve it in the
Thumb.
cup here.
Give him
No, thank you.
give one more for the.
So I feel like it's a very similar color. I'm just gonna serve you more than that.
Oh, that's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's right. You don't want you want to be able to drive. I got you.
Who says?
It's a beautiful color.
It is a beautiful
Look at
dark
that.
golden color.
Damn, that does look gorgeous.
It definitely
Look
looks
at
a
that.
lot darker in person than it does on the camera. Looks very yellow in the camera. In person, it's a lot more orange.
Thank you,
More
sir.
of an amber.
So it definitely has an amber tone to it. I can see that
Yeah.
amber color.
I feel like we should at least cheers to this one. Now we're getting into the
Now
high.
now we're getting into the big leagues here.
We're
Here we go.
upgrading now.
We're
What's
upgrading.
the APV?
APV on this big boy here, and I'm gonna put it the back of the can facing you guys so you guys can see what we're talking about.
APV
So
is-
the initials on the back of the can they're saying ACM is Arroz con Mango, and the APV to this beer is 10.8%. All right. You can see why they gave it the name Arroz con Mango, being on the higher levels of APV.
Woo! Smells like un arroz con mango.
Woo! It smells sweet to me.
No, it smells sweet, but it smells like danger.
Yeah.
It's like the danger, the danger
Oh, bro.
I
You think
love.
this smells like danger?
No,
You guys
no,
don't
it's
know-
a danger
you guys
I
don't know-
love.
You
No,
guys
no,
don't
no.
know what's in the cooler.
Hold on.
You guys don't know what's in the cooler.
It's a danger I love.
Chen, why you gotta put that
type
up
of
there?
danger.
Why you gotta put that up there?
Oh,
That's,
really quick, we got some questions in before we taste this one. So it looks like we got
A comment from Red Shark Productions there. Sounds better in Spanish.
arroz con mango does
Arroz con
sound
mango,
better.
yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely
rice
sounds-
and mango sounds boring as hell.
Yeah.
Arroz con mango, especially if you say with Miami flavor.
this is
Arroz con mango.
Que arroz con
32
mango.
ounces.
¿Qué arroz con mango tú tienes, compadre?
And then, like we got Pure Thunder. The size of the can reminds me of a 99-cent Arizona tea. Nah, this is bigger than the Arizona
Yeah.
tea.
No, this is definitely bigger than
When
the
you see,
Arizona
when you see
Fancy.
this, you grab it in your head, you're gonna be like, "What the?"
This is
32
a 32 ounce crawler can. I could have gotten a 64 ounce, but I
Bro.
instead of bringing the 64 for just one beer, I decided to bring two 32s. The next beer coming up after this one.
I already
once
could have helped
we-
myself. I just took a sip. Like I was like,
That's fine. That's fine. I don't mind you taste before me. That's all good. Matter of fact, what do you think about it? What you feel?
Oof, yo, this is actually smoother than I thought.
Smoother than what you expected, right? That's why I brought that beer into this episode.
That's que arroz con mango. Like you think it's gonna
Right.
be some
So,
shit.
based off the
Some
name,
cra-
you
like
already
some shit
thinking-
show, and you're like, maybe not, maybe not.
Now, when we jump into the next beer after we get into the barbecue debate here, because we are going to
Yeah.
One.
we are going to give this beer some time to reminisce in our
We're
stomach.
gonna enjoy some of
we're
those
gonna
32
enjoy-
ounces.
We're gonna enjoy some of these 32 ounces. 99-cent Arizona tea.
Yo, yeah.
Come on, Puerto Rican Thunder.
Oof, man.
Wait,
Hold on. We didn't even cheers. Hold on. Cheers. Cheers.
Yeah, we
My
got to cheers to
friends,
this. We got to
Pass
cheers to
on my
this.
cheer because
No.
I'm not gonna lead over.
I don't know, out of all of y'all that may be following, most of y'all that I've seen up there already know me.
Wow.
Um,
That's good.
I do have a beer rating app, all right? And in that beer rating app, is, look who just joined.
Hey, there's the guy.
There's the guy we want to hear tonight.
There's the guy.
It's Chris Kennedy.
Chris Kennedy. The app that I use to rate these beers is called, I'm having a brain fart here.
Untapped.
Untapped. Thank you very
Hey,
much.
I got you.
You got me. You got me.
This is why I'm
And-
here sometimes.
In the rating scale, you can rate this beer from a 0.25, so 0.25, all the way up to a 5.0. And the first time that I tasted this beer, I went straight for the 5.
Yeah.
All right, I
Yeah.
went straight for the 5 because of it being such a smooth taste of a beer
Yeah.
for such a strong kick.
Mm.
All right, and the name of the beer itself already gives you that idea of a strong kick. So that, what arroz con mango are you drinking, bro? It's like you said it. I'm drinking arroz con mango. Yeah. Shout out to Chris Kennedy out there. Say hi to Karina for me. And we are definitely enjoying these beers, bro.
Oh yeah.
Wait until the fourth one that's going to be coming up on the episode is.
You're definitely going to enjoy that one, Chris.
You're definitely going to enjoy that one.
All y'all going to enjoy this.
When I first tasted this beer, I kind of proceeded with caution at first, and I smelled it.
Of course, like you see the percentage, you're like.
And I ordered a flight, so I ordered multiple things to taste. And that time when we went there, I was with actually Chris Kennedy, if I'm not mistaken. The first time we actually went to the brewery, and I ordered the beer after we had the flight, and I drank the whole cup of beer, and I had to go take a whiz. And we seem to be running short on time here from what I'm being told, but I'm going to make this short because we got to do the barbecue debate real quick and do the fourth beer tasting. As I got up to go take a whiz after having a few beers, bro, I for sure had to recalibrate. I for sure had to recalibrate because after doing the flight with multiple different beers and then having a full cup of this one beer, I was like, wow, this, for a very smooth tasting beer, does give you a kick. Without a doubt.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I do feel that slight floral aroma. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
The thing is, it gives the... Okay. So with this, it gives me this... Like, not to give it a bad... Like, it's just this... A mishmash of smells. Like, it's just having a sensitive nose. Like, it's just so much going on. Like, it feels like it's...
Would you say that it's very arroz con mango?
That's what I said. Earlier I was like, it's very arroz con mango because like, I smelled it and I was like, But then I tasted it, I was like, So it's this, the smell tricks you. That's why I was like, I think the name suits it very well. Arroz con mango. Like you think you're gonna be in some like, well, this shit show happened. but if you keep drinking it, you're definitely gonna get in a shit show. But like it has a very like, I don't know if it's like I want to say hoppy, but it's like it's not that. It's like this hoppy. Like it's something that's just like catching my nose, and it just gives me this like
that
rough,
that
like
warming aftertaste. That warming aftertaste that they have in the description. I don't feel that.
I don't either.
I don't feel that.
Oh, I do. I feel it coming. I feel it.
You feel it coming down?
I feel it.
All right.
No, that was just me saying my feels. No, I feel it. Like I do feel like because we have it really cold, so right now it has like very cooling, but. I can feel it in the back of my tongue. Like when it's going down, it's like a warmer feel. Like it's cold, but it's warmer.
All right. I mean, now that we're running short on time here, I'm going to transition over to the barbecue debate real fast.
Vamos, barbecue while I keep chugging this beer right here.
I got to see what comments they're going to throw up on that board before we have to cut this episode down to that. The debate on barbecues is, are you a traditional charcoal and wood smoker for the barbecue? Mm-hmm. Or would you rather go electrical pellet smoker and take the easy way out? Yeah.
So and shots fired already.
Minor shots fired already, yes, because I know that I have an electrical pellet smoker fan over here to my left. All right. And I'm not against them. I wouldn't mind trying one to see, what can I do with one.
Cook your style.
Because I see potential in it. But if you really want to enjoy the time, right, you want to be there on the barbecue. You want to be able to enjoy the barbecue. I'd rather be monitoring that darn fire with my eyeballs.
Exactly, like slow roasting.
Being baptized by smoke as I have a beer. And throwing in those wood logs, right?
Right.
Where then I'm washing my beard as I'm in the shower 7 times just to get the damn smell of smoke off me.
I love the smell of smoke. Not going to lie.
Yeah.
I love being smoky.
And if I go like this, oh, yeah. I can smell that smoke right off my mustache. Yeah. Yeah. But going electrical is a different scenario because I know I can leave. It's like having a conventional oven inside the house. Just it's outside of pellets.
I've had both. And with the electrical smoker, you have a couple benefits, right? Obviously, with it being electrical, you have the ability to set a temperature and leave it. So let's say you want to have something smoke at 225 and leave it at 225. It's going to stay at 225. It's not going to burn. It's not going to overcook. It's not going to undercook. It's going to stay at that temperature wherever you set it. You obviously can have a probe that you can put into
probe?
a probe. Yeah, meat probe.
Okay, meat probe.
Yeah,
Ooh,
a meat probe.
Meat probe. All right.
A meat probe. Yeah, that you can put into the meat.
Temperature probe.
A temperature probe.
All right.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
We all know what you mean. No.
So you can also see the temperature. I have an app on my phone. I can see what temperature my grill is at. I can see what temperature the meat is at. I can see whether
Bro.
I need to leave it longer, whether I want to
My
take it off
probe.
now. Like,
My probe is my finger and my eyeballs.
see, but that's the thing.
All right.
This is a fail safe. It's not going to fail. I'm going to have everything perfectly cooked every single time, without a doubt.
But yet you lit the barbecue on fire.
Okay. So
I get it.
For
I get
context,
it. I don't read
for
instructions
context-
neither.
For
All right.
context, I was setting up the electric grill. I didn't read the instructions. It caught on fire. I put the fire out. Everything was fine.
All right. This is an electrical grill, guys. He lit it on fire.
See,
But
there can still be fire.
There can
There
still
can
be
still be
There
fire.
can still be fire. There can still be fire. You're right.
There can still be situations where the temperature is not controlled,
Okay.
but you can control. You can set it up as high as 550.
As high as 550. Okay. That's not bad. I can see that rolling for an electrical smoker. A couple
And
different
it's
meats.
not saying that is the end all be all. It's not saying that's the only method that you have, because obviously I love some seared steak. I can see the benefit of having. Okay, yeah, Carlos has gone off the chain. I can see
I've
the
just
benefit
been
of
about
having.
used this cup before or not.
I can see the benefit of having a
You still got two here.
non-electrical
We still
smoker,
got
or like a gas grill, or like a wood fire.
Oh, gas grill's a whole different conversation. Gas
I
grill.
can see the benefit of having all of those
gas-
things as an alternative, but this is just another thing into the mix that adds convenience and ease of
It
use.
does. I can see how it
It
adds.
does. I could see that completely. Because like, you
Alright,
you
guys.
have different.
I can
styles. But wait,
I can be here right now, and if my grill's not plugged in, but if I have it at home, I can turn it on right now and have it be ready by the time I get home.
That's just
that is
laziness,
that is a benefit for it.
Sure, it's a benefit.
All right.
Let's say
so-
let's say
I know,
hypothetically
we're running
speaking.
short on
We're
time. We're running short on time.
Hold
Here's
on,
more
we're ready
beer.
Real quick.
better be real
Hypothetically
quick.
speaking, if I have meat like marinating in the fridge right now, I turn on my grill. By the time I get home, I walk in the door, I walk in the fridge, I grab it, I open up the grill, it's already hot, throw it on there.
Okay. But then you
That's
gotta
one
add the pellets.
perspective.
I don't have they're already in there. I don't have to go turn it on, wait for it to heat up. None of that.
We could come back to this conversation
I'm
because
saving
definitely
time.
needs more time.
I
We
think,
will.
I think this
We're gonna
conversation
come
is
back
going to
to it.
continue
More
on the
time.
next
We're
episode.
gonna come back to it. We're gonna come back to it.
Because
We
I
have to.
definitely want to taste this
Yes.
next beer.
Yes.
All right.
I love my barbecues. But right now, your boy needs another beer.
All right.
Hyro's more of the brews than barbecues.
Yeah, but Hyra's definitely more on the
Oh,
booze
I
end
love
of this.
me a good barbecue.
No, you don't, bro.
Which we're gonna get
Last
to that.
time you
We-
were in my
we
crib,
will-
I literally had to pull the steak out of the
gonna
barbecue
do some
after I
tasting.
put the steak in the barbecue. That
Okay,
thing was bloody
don't get
red.
me wrong because I like my.
That thing was
I like
bloody
it a
red.
little bloody, all right. But doesn't mean I like it like smoked up nice. All right, I do. I still there's still a taste to it.
All right, guys. Again, this is now another growler. Same 32-ounce size growler. Right here next to my head. This one is the highest APV beer I could find at this brewery. Again, we're talking about the same brewery here. All right, so it is Veza in Wynwood, Florida, Miami, Florida. The name of this one right off the bat caught my eyeball real fast. Because the name of it is Sazón Tropical. All right, so when you talk about seasoning in Spanish, seasoning you're going to put on your dish.
Sazón.
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 Sazonas.
So when we're talking about Sazón Tropical, I'm like, bro, all right, sure, let's go with this name.
Hold up real quick. Puerto Rican Thunder, no. I never read instructions. I didn't do it for the content. I did it just because I never read
Do
instructions.
it for the content.
He wasn't too big of a hurry to get the barbecue up and running.
Oh,
Listen,
you had that tap starting.
We all know that I have no problem using an open flame.
Yeah,
we'll get into
yes,
that.
yes, which that will be
That's
something.
that's another time. That's
Another time, another joke on Austin Browning here.
At Austin Browning _
Austin Browning underscore.
Hey, I love that plug.
All right, that was a whole different experience. All right, so we got here Sazón Tropical, and this Sazón Tropical has 11.5% APV.
Ooh.
Boy loves that.
All right, so as soon as I saw the 11.5, I was like, "Ooh, I want that. That's for me.
That.
That's for me."
That's for me.
And right off the bat, as I pour this thing into the cup, guys, you can
That
see
looks like liquid danger.
right
That's
off the
dangerous.
bat that it is slightly
dangerous.
darker.
Stranger danger, stranger
It
danger.
is definitely darker than the prior one that was arroz con mango.
That's
All right, so
I
now,
know, I'm already passing my cup.
I know that
I'm ready
looks
for another.
orange, but that is red.
all right, Sazón Tropical,
But I do love the way that looks.
No.
and I'm gonna open up my iPad here so I can read some information about Sazón Tropical for you guys.
Listen, if you pee and it looks like that, you're dehydrated. Go to a hospital.
Oh my jeez. Sorry, I just took a whiff of it.
What it smell like? What you got? What you got? What you got out your nose right there? Because I already have an idea of what you're smelling.
I can definitely smell the alcohol on this sucker.
Uh,
And then but it also has it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
a chocolatey smell as well.
Like a
It's
like a cocoa.
like a nice chocolate bar, like you just snapped it open and it's just the waft of it just hits you in the nose, like.
It smells.
But then you throw alcohol in your face, and that's.
It's like a mix between like cocoa and like an expo marker.
Oh my gosh!
wow, wow.
That sounds like
That's a very specific description there. All right,
That's very accurate. though.
Sazón Tropical as 11.5% APV. What is Sazón Tropical? It is the beer from Veza. The description they have set up for it is our classic arroz con mango with habanero, ginger, and mango has now been aged in a Cabernet Sauvignon barrel.
Cabernet Sauvignon.
Sauvignon. This beer, aka Cerveza, how they have it here in the description, now features a dark fruit flavor with black currant. I'm not
Black
even
currant.
Sure, if I'm not even pronouncing that right. Black cherry, black berries, with a note of pepper, tobacco, wood, and vanilla. All right. Let me see if I
Cheers,
taste
boys.
any of these following.
Yeah. So like I said, cocoa and expo marker.
Cocoa and Expo marker. All right.
So
I'm having some dry erase marker here in my fluid.
Down the hatch, boys.
Oof. Right off the bat, the smell. Yo, you're right. The Expo marker is in the scent. I ain't gonna lie. Now that you mentioned that, I smell Expo
You
marker.
smell it. It's there. I promise. It's
When
there.
you said expo marker, I was like, whoa, yes.
Yep. Well, yes.
Oh,
But
man,
I definitely
that tastes
That's
really
good.
good.
That's good.
Like the chocolate scent actually
Yes.
mixes with a lot of the
It
taste
does.
of it.
Very well have
the vanilla, the chocolate,
yes.
Even the tobacco.
the tobacco, the wood.
Mm-hmm.
So when it's aged in a barrel like that, guys, you got to consider that there was already
I could taste the bite of the jalapeno.
there was already that wine in that barrel before. So that in wood consumes fluids. So the wood now implementing this fluid into it, which was
calling me wood?
originally arroz con mango. Once you put the beer into it, it is now sucking out from the wood.
Oy.
It's sucking out from the wood the other flavors that are in the fluid that was in there before, right? And then they let it age. It doesn't specifically
years,
tell
right?
me how long they aged it for. It being a beer, I don't think it went for 2 years.
No,
Yeah.
sabe como un año.
Not for that long.
Not even
Año.
that, bro. I think it was between maybe 60 to 90 days in that barrel before it made it to the actual draft, or in this case, a draft, or
Right.
in bottle packing or can packing. But I definitely taste the vanilla. I definitely taste the wood. That tobacco, in the sense of the taste you get in your mouth when you walk into a tobacco shop.
You know,
Right.
your boy loves some cigars.
You're right. I know you love cigars. But it's not, I don't smoke, so I don't know what flavor you get as you inhale the tobacco. But it's definitely the taste that I get in my mouth as I walk into a tobacco shop. Right? Which is, I'm guessing, a different flavor of smoking it versus...
It's the scent that you taste.
Exactly. It's the
Yeah.
scent that you taste. That's
Yes.
the best
Yes.
way to describe it.
Yeah. Oh man, this is real good.
Yeah.
I would definitely have either arroz con mango or sazón tropical.
Yeah,
So
I would.
in what context would you drink this? And what
this
setting?
would go with a
Ooh.
good steak.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be something very like.
And I need to compensate some solid mass for what I'm
Yes.
intaking of fluids here.
And definitely some starch.
some starchy.
Okay.
Like,
Yep.
I would say like maybe with.
Although I don't feel like I taste the habanero, the ginger, or the mango at all.
I taste the I taste the jalapeno.
You taste the jalapeno?
I can. I think that the Tabasco that you're feeling is the jalapeno. Like the heatiness of it. I think about it has that strong scent, and I think that's what I was smelling. Like I was like, wow, it's like you.
Well,
I'm not sure. A lot of people
okay.
like stick jalapenos up there,
Like on the back of your tongue.
But like the jalapeno, because most of this, of course, is calming it down.
Right.
When you're tasting it, it has this that it gives it that extra. I feel like it has a little extra bite. Not like trying to like
Right. And a lot of
Over
times, when,
inundate
a lot
you,
of times when
but-
we think about like jalapeno or Tabasco, we think about like the heat that it can bring.
but it does have a lot more flavor. I'm a spice person, so for me, like,
Yeah.
I love heat and like, but I know the tastes of different heat.
So from 1 to 5, what would you give this beer?
This is definitely gonna be in the 5,
Definitely
like
would be in the
between
5?
like 4.5, 5.
So for sure,
easily.
a yay for Hyro.
Yeah.
a hell yeah for Hyro.
Yeah.
This-
Alright. You give it a 5 also? Not
Yeah.
bad, not bad.
Yeah.
When I first tasted this, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I was 9 different beers in, and I had already
well, this time you only
intaken.
3 in.
I had multiple. I had taken in multiple appetizers, so there were solids, there were fluids. I had already gone to take a leak multiple times. I was already feeling a little happy, but tonight's flavor that I got from Sazón Tropical is not the same flavor I had picked up when I went to the brewery. All right, and I say I went to the brewery because in order to get this growler, I had to go to the brewery because this is not sold at a local store near us.
Right.
Mhm.
All right, so I had to drive out to Winwood, and I had to pick this up at the brewery at
Just
Veza
so-
store directly.
Some of you out there that are not from Miami, it's not gonna be an easy one to get. You got to fly in.
This is
You
definitely
gotta
if you
get
had a
a-
trip down here.
Yes, exactly, and
Right.
definitely worth it.
Definitely worth it. Any other questions we got out here for our guest this
I have
evening?
no questions, but we have last one from Maria, letting us know. Cheers for the dark beer drinkers. This will be the number 1 choice: spice, aromatic, fruity, and dark.
All right,
I love it. Yeah,
very very well
You're right.
described. Definitely, I'll hand that out to you, my mother. That is very well described of what I'm taking in on this beer.
yeah. This one. It's
It's-
surprisingly good. That I told you since the other day when you
Fruity
told me
and dark.
about this
Let me
beer.
ask you.
I got excited about this. Like that was.
Right, I remember your reaction when I told you the name of the beer I was going to bring, and he was like, "What?"
I'll tell you right now. I'm gonna finish drinking this
Yeah.
at the end of this.
For
So-
sure. Once we go off this camera, I'm finishing what I have here on the table.
I actually
Oh,
do
yeah.
have a question.
What do you got?
Because you said at the brewery it tasted different. In what way?
Well, it tasted different because he had multiple things.
I had
And
already
was eating
consumed
and doing a
so
bunch of
much
things,
stuff at that point that I felt so bloated. At that point, like I feel like at that point when you're at that level where your taste buds aren't tasting what they should, it's difficult to really taste a new beer you haven't tasted before because you can't feel what that beer has.
I'm asking more along the lines of like, what did you taste rather than why did it taste different? Like, was there like any specific notes that like stood out to you?
The tobacco note was there. That note is same
What
on
you
that day as
remember.
it is today,
Like,
from what
you
I
trying to
remember.
ask? What are you trying to
Um,
remember?
From what I'm trying to remember, the vanilla taste was there as well. There was a slight jalapeno taste to it that I can say I felt there, but everything else in the description I feel like was not there at all.
Yeah.
All right?
Okay.
Okay.
And
That's
at
fair.
that point, I was like,
That's
I'm
fair.
drinking very, very strong, dark, like jalapeno flavored hot sauce with some
Right.
vanilla in it. It smelled like a steak that my mother-in-law would have made that I would have not eaten. Right?
I like the way you just said that.
That is exactly, and the wife had to point that out because I had forgotten that I had said that comment.
And you know I like my
Yeah.
stuff raw, so that like.
And it smelled like a steak that I feel like not even my dog would
Oh,
would
Dios mío.
would take in.
Chris, if you're still
All right.
Kennedy, if you're still listening, oi.
Oi.
Wow.
But
All right,
today, the taste that I got was totally different, and I appreciate the fact that I'm tasting it with you guys here today because this is not what I expected, and I appreciate you guys for coming in and being able to be part of this episode.
Our pleasure.
Again, today, guys, we covered a debate of electrical smokers versus traditional wood and charcoal smokers. We covered a little bit about Dry Tortugas National Park here in South Florida, and we went ahead and covered 4 different beers from Veza, a local brewery here in Miami, Florida. Located in Wynwood. As far as names of beers, they were Mangolandia Blonde Ale. They were South Coast IPA, also by Veza. They were Arroz con Mango from Veza. And last but not least, it was Sazón Tropical.
Sazón.
Thanks for joining us. There will be more episodes to come. Thanks to Hyro. Thanks to Austin. Checking out. Later.
Deuces.
Later, y'all. Have a good night.
Smoke.